right here. This is the actual eligibility. It's basically the declaration that you are going to have to sign off on in the online portal. And whether you do it, via phone or the online portal, this is the declaration that you're making. So don't worry about what else is on the website in this corner or that corner that may be outdated or may be new. I'm going to put 99% of my, decision making anyways on what is the actual declaration that I'm saying is true.
I can see the whole wide world with these two eyes, and I can be whoever I want to be, 'cause it's my life.
Hi, thanks for tuning in for another episode of Ask Spurrell CPA. Today we are talking about the CERB application here with Trevor from Inspire Method. Trevor?
Yes.
We got more rules today.
More rules.
We're ready to go.
More things coming down the pipe.
That's right.
Excited to tell everyone about it.
So what are the questions people should be asking?
The first question people should ask is, has EI previously been available to most self-employed individuals?
Generally, no. I mean, you had to opt in, but it wasn't really a financially beneficial thing to do. But so generally, this is uncharted territory for most self-employed people that they're thinking to themselves, I've never been eligible for EI. You are now, probably. Probably.
All right, so what is the CERB?
So the acronym it stands for the Canadian Emergency Response Benefit. So CERB being Canadian Emergency Response Benefit.
Okay. Question number 3 is, should you rely on press conferences to determine your eligibility?
No, we have been through this a couple times on almost every single issue. You can sit there and watch the Prime Minister word for word in his press conferences, and then very likely when the fine print gets released, it will be different than what he says in the press conferences. So do not rely on press conferences to decide if you should apply for the CERB or if you shouldn't apply to the CERB. Don't do it based on press conferences.
Good idea. Are mainstream media articles giving misinformation?
Yes. Obviously there's some media articles that are almost inherently false anyways, but even the good ones who are reporting it accurately, remember they can only report as accurately as it's delivered in the press conference, which we have found to be unreliable. So it doesn't matter if it's from, Financial Post, Globe and Mail, National Post, Edmonton Journal, Calgary Herald. It doesn't matter if it's a mainstream reputable source. Remember, there's been differences between what's said in the press conferences and what actually makes it onto the website.
Yeah, 100%. Always verify. Trust but verify.
Yes.
Is there already outdated information on the Government of Canada website?
Now we're going into a different round. Before, on previous videos, I was telling people, hey, just make sure it's on the government website. But at this point, things have been changed. Things have been released and changed. So now, at this point, even on the government website, you have to realize what was old information and what is new information. So even on the Government of Canada website, you have to have your head up to make sure you're looking at the most recent part because it could be outdated.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast things change and how quickly they become outdated. So what is the main document you recommend relying on?
Right here. This is the actual eligibility. It's basically the declaration that you are going to have to sign off on in the online portal. And whether you do it via phone or the online portal, this is the declaration that you're making. So don't worry about what else is on the website in this corner or that corner that may be outdated or may be new. I'm going to put 99% of my decision making anyways on what is the actual declaration that I'm saying is true. This is what matters. So this is what we should learn in detail.
Okay, so the next question I've got here, what does it say regarding applying if you are on or already applied for EI?
So I'll read it verbatim. This is right from the declaration. It's not that long either. We don't have pages and pages to read here. It's just over one page, really. And it says, you are not entitled to receive the Canada Emergency Response Benefit, CERB, from the Canada Revenue Agency, CRA, while you are receiving employment insurance benefits or the CERB from Service Canada. If you have already submitted an application with Service Canada for EI or the CERB, you cannot apply for this benefit through CRA. So, if you're receiving EI from some other source, you are not eligible for the CERB.
Yeah, that's fair. There's no double dipping, right?
Which
makes sense.
Basically excludes every business owner anyways because they weren't eligible for EI.
Correct. So this is really for business owners and people who don't qualify for EI benefits, right?
That's right.
What are some of the other requirements?
So the other requirements, so I'll just back up. Even some people who wouldn't have qualified for EI but are not business owners, it's a little bit different. They'll qualify for the CERB. So let's look at it because it's really, really broad. So the other qualifications are you reside in Canada. Pretty straightforward. You reside in Canada or you don't. You are 15 years of age or older at the time of application. Pretty straightforward. There's no way to misconstrue that. Now let's get into one. This is a meaty sentence and it's a really important sentence. It says, for your first CERB application, you have stopped or will stop working. Have stopped or will stop working due to reasons related to COVID-19 and for at least 14 consecutive days of the 4-week period for which you are applying, you will not be receiving employment income, self-employment income, or provincial or federal benefits related to maternity or paternity leave. Okay, that's a big meaty sentence.
Yeah.
But, word for word, it's have stopped working or will stop working. And then it talks about income, okay? So a couple other ones moving forward. It says, you have not quit your job voluntarily, okay? You have not applied for, nor are you receiving CERB or EI benefits from Service Canada for the same eligibility period. So you can't double dip there, okay? But if you didn't qualify for EI, this could be open to you too, provided you meet all those other qualifications. And you have earned a minimum of $5,000 income within the last 12 months, or in the last 12 months, or in 2019 from one or more of the following sources: employment income, self-employment income, or provincial or federal benefits related to maternity or paternity leave. Okay. That's really the qualifications. They're not that long. They're all on one page.
Yeah.
There's lots of little nooks and crannies on the website, but at the end of the day, when you get to the declaration that you got to make, this is all you're declaring. So this is what I'm going to put 99% of my stock into. Is this here.
You have to have a little bit of a crystal ball for some of that, which is unfortunate, but we'll get into that. What does it say regarding non-self-employed T4 income?
So, if your T4 income has been terminated, that's fine. But if you're still getting a regular check, here's a problem, and it's a bit of a weakness in it, is if your T4 income has been reduced significantly, but you are still getting a regular check every 2 weeks, you are not going to go the 14 days. So your hours could have gone from 40 hours to 4 hours. You will not qualify for CERB. Now, that doesn't mean you wouldn't qualify for EI. That's a different discussion altogether.
Yeah.
But reduced hours, no go. Regular T4 hours completely eliminated. CERB could be for you or could be for a regular business owner.
Okay. At what point do you care about subsequent CERB application requirements?
So there's there's like another paragraph I did not read to you on the subsequent CERB applications because I just don't care about it at this point, because what I know is Parliament has been recalled to vote on all this stuff. So I only care about the application period at hand here. So I only care about the March 15th to April 11th, application period. I don't care about the subsequent ones at this point because everything has changed so much. Why would I expect that this is going to be consistent for 16 weeks? I fully expect this to change. Let's just figure out what to do in month 1 first.
Yeah.
We'll figure out what to do in month 2 after. Don't put a lot of stock into what they're telling you it's going to look like.
Yeah, 100%. What is the only time period that matters at this point?
Yeah, so it's right here. When we're talking about all this, it's you highlight it on your calendar. It's March 15th to April 11th. That is the initial application period. That's what the 14-day test applies to. Don't worry about the subsequent periods yet, because I fully expect by the time we get to the subsequent period, there might be a full set of rules. You can memorize this one if you want, but I have a feeling it'll be a different one when you get there. So.
Okay, now, does dividend income count as self-employed income?
Yes, there is other literature on the CRA website saying that dividend income will count as self-employed income. So remember, one of the qualifications is you have to have at least $5,000 of self-employed income, either in 2019 or in the 12 months leading up to this. So basically, you have to have $5,000 of income from January 1st, 2019 until the beginning of the period, March 15th.
Okay. Now, why would you put more stock on the wording of income rather than work?
So work is not really defined anywhere, right?
Yeah.
And it gets a little bit hokey. It's not like work is a definition in the Income Tax Act. Work is like, for example, what if someone said, my work is completely shut down. I own a restaurant. I'm not allowed to open even if I wanted to, or I own a fitness center, but I log in and check my email. I look at the social media account to see if anybody's posted on it. Am I working? To me, work and income are the same thing. And work is a soft definition of income. I mean, really, I think work is the ability to derive income.
Yeah.
If you're just doing something to be busy, or your shop is shut down but you drive by to see if someone has broken in, I don't think that's work.
No.
CRA's interpretation could be different from mine, but I think you can see how I think work is the ability to earn income. So I'm going to put more stock in the income restrictions in here, because that's a more clear and concrete definition.
Yeah, and I mean, entrepreneurs always put in more work than the income that they receive generally.
That's right. Yeah.
Next question. When do your corporate clients normally declare income?
So, corporate clients at Spurrell & Associates, with our tax planning, normally we're only declaring income a lot of times once a year. We're declaring a dividend once a year. A lot of times we're declaring a small salary even once per year. So there's a big percentage of our clients where, even if no coronavirus type thing had hit, where the likelihood that they're declaring any income in the period from, we're only talking about March 15th to April 11, 2020, the likelihood that they were going to declare income in that period is very, very small. Like, unless they had a March year end, in which case, even if they did have a March year end, we have the ability to declare that income before or after the year end. So, often, a lot of corporate clients, especially the way we organize it, they're only declaring income once per year.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, based on this, how broad is the criteria for getting this CERB?
Hugely broad. I mean, let's look at it. It's you have stopped or will stop working. You don't have to have stopped.
Oh, that's that crystal ball we're talking
Yes.
about. And work. What is work? Right?
What is work?
Yeah.
To me, it relates on the ability to derive income. So that you have the ability to derive income. For a 4-week period for which you are applying, you will not be receiving employment income, self-employment income, or provincial or federal maternity benefits. Okay, so really we're focused on, primarily for our clients, self-employment income, because they don't have regular employment income. It's the T4 income that they're getting from their own corporation. So we're talking like it's extremely broad. Who has not been engaged in really, really significant stay-at-home procedures, as per our Prime Minister is recommending everyone stay at home.
Stay at home.
So are you really deriving income? Is there a 14-day period in there where you stopped working and you're not deriving income? Keep in mind, income is likely only declared for a lot of corporate clients once a year. What's the chances it was that period, right?
Yeah, very broad.
It's very broad, right? So this is big interpretation out there that a lot of people are going to qualify.
Yeah. So the next question is, what happens to people on EI starting businesses, and how could that be relevant?
So I think they're going to narrow that a little bit. My experience on people who start businesses while they're on EI won't be just, did you declare income in that magical period? It's, could you have declared income in that period, right? So there is a little bit of maneuvering on, was it, practical? This is completely uncharted territory, and I'm in a way making an apples to oranges comparison. Yeah. But it's the orange that looks most like this apple, I guess. And so they do tend to go a step further for those people who start businesses while they're collecting EI. They don't just look at, did they declare salary or dividends in that point? They look at, could they have declared salary or dividends in that point? And that would be a very, realistic interpretation that could be, applied here in retrospect, I suppose.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Now, the last question we have, is there a risk that people will have to pay this back?
Yes, I do believe there is a risk that you're going to have to pay it back. So anybody applying who's a business owner who has income, you can't be thinking, hey, I got this money, I'm definitely going to get it, I can take it to the bank, and there's no way they're ever going to claw it back. That's just not how any taxation issue works. So, it's my view that you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That's for sure. So you're definitely not getting it if you don't apply.
Yeah.
But if you do apply, there is a risk. And like I said, it comes down to what's that definition of work, which is murky. What's that definition of income, which is a little more concrete, and it has to be argued in a 14-day period. Keep in mind, it's very easy to make, for any small business to look at, did it earn income in any 14-day period? We never file anything for small businesses on a 14-day period, right? Yeah. So that's going to be a bit subjective, but I know from experience in dealing with business owners who start businesses while they're on EI, they'll look at, could you have realistically declared income from them? So that could come up as well too. Yeah. But at this point, like I said, we're going to miss 100% of the shots we don't take. So we have to look at, could we potentially, we can't lie on this application. But the interpretation of it, it is subject to some interpretation for sure.
Yeah.
But either way, this is the document. Don't listen to the news conferences. Don't look at the little flow charts that your friends have sent you on Facebook. At the end of the day, this is all you're signing up for. Is right here. You're declaring this, and if you declare affirmative to this, they're going to send you a check for $2,000. Keep in mind, the interpretation could be clarified at a later date, and you might have to pay it back.
That's right.
That's what we have for you here today regarding the CERB, Canada Emergency Response Benefit, and making that application. We're going to have more coming up in regards to helping people navigate around the wage subsidies, 10% and 75% versus, potentially doing how that also ties in for the CERB, both for the business owner and potentially their employees as well. So thanks very much, and look forward to talking with you again soon. Thank you.